Depois eu vou ter que, a hora que você entrar, eu vou ter que colocar você aqui correndo. Ah, vamos lá. Cara, estamos em. Okay, we are going live. Let's prepare everything. Okay, just a moment.
Okay.
Hmm. Let me see if there is someone already watching us.
Are we already live?
Yeah, we do. One. Okay, okay. Let me just find the credentials here for service now because I lost the connection there.
Okay.
I can't find. Okay.
Yeah, I think that I'm gonna be at home within 15 minutes, I think. I hope
Okay.
so.
No problem. I still don't know if there is someone already watching it. Okay. There are six six guys watching us already. Or let me start the sharing soon. Hi all.
Okay, perfect.
I'm just finishing the setup with the tool we're going for the stream. Just more 2 or 3 minutes and we are starting. Okay. Personal. Some technical problems with the technology.
Yeah. And that was not the only problem that we faced. I was about
Guys,
I
uh,
was about to be at home already.
guys, I want some feedback from you that is already watching us. If you are able to hear Thiago, please write me a message on the chat. Just as a feedback because
Okay, I'm gonna say something here just to make this test. You can hear me?
I do, but I still don't have any feedbacks on that.
Okay. Yeah, maybe because we have some delays.
Guys, you should start seeing my screen. Okay, to just feed it. Yeah. Hey guys, uh, thanks for watching. So today we're gonna try some a different use case here. We are always living in a world that's moving faster and faster, and we need to adapt for that, right? So the idea here is try to use some practice from DevOps, from continuous integration, continuous delivery, to on our day by day using Zowe, using ESP, ServiceNow. ServiceNow is just one tool that we are here using for implement that. You can use any tool you want and any scheduler you want. So the idea here is to show that you can use whatever you are used to prepare and make your life easier. So I'm just gonna save it. So today I have prepared a small application. It is we have here two jobs, two JCLs that I'm writing in my machine. I'm working with that. It's a very basic one. So it's a hello. We are going to take a hello word and write in COBOL. Right? It just display hello word. And using Zowe, we are going to automate all the delivery. So when we do some changes on that, when we make some JCL changes, or you can prepare tests for your COBOL, whatever you are dealing, we need to deliver every time faster. And before we do the deliver, we want to ensure that we are not moving any broken changes to our environment, right? So I have prepared here. This application has two jobs, just as an example. One will compile our COBOL, and the other will do the execution. We have prepared some tests. So for the test here, um, for to have some tests for our jobs for our JCL, we prepared something with, for example, you may be used to type scan. So a feature in JCL to check if our job has the requirements to run. So if there is no JCL error, for example, and we expect this job with the type run scan to complete fine, right? So we're gonna check if the return of this job based on this one, you can see here that there is no type run on them, but we are taking our jobs, creating new ones with this additional word here, and we want to check if it completes fine, if it completes with zero. If not, we are going to see the tests, right? And we have some scripts to help us. I'm more used with JavaScript, Node.js, and I really think this is easy to use, and that's why that's my choice. So I'm gonna show what I have prepared here. So every time we are going to run these tests, we create a copy of our jobs, a new copy that's updated, and with that we run then using Zowe, and we get this return code. So for example, for who is not totally used with Zowe, I have here some comments, and I'm gonna show you how I'm doing that. um when when I started the project with Node, I have this package JSON where I'm detailing the dependencies I have. I'm detailing the scripts I have. So I have here some scripts for tests, for example. So the test script will use yes. Take this code that we have prepared, that is executing a command from Zowe. So Zowe job submit from a local file. So our job test job1 JCL, and it creates a directory here with the output of our jobs. So for us to see how that happens, so I have here a folder or those outputs are being generated, and I'm gonna clean up that. Guys, looks there are some problem with the transmission, if I'm right. Are you able to Are you able to see my screen? If someone can post some message just as a feedback. Okay, I'm seeing that the screen is being. Thanks, Mariana. Okay, let's continue then. So let's see how we submit a job from our machine using Zowe. So I have here the director where I'm working, and I have all the sources here. So let's submit some job and see how that works. So with Zoe you have a lot of options you can use, and that's much more easier. You don't need to jump from one session to another, and we're gonna use the jobs option, submit from local file. I'm gonna submit a simple UAV copy for us to see how that's work, right? So I'm passing the JCL I want to execute, and I'm passing the directory where I want to download the execution. So we can see here that we generated a job to run on our LPAR with job ID 2473. It runs fine, and I can check the output here on VS Code. So it just created for me the folder. I have all the cards that I expected from that here. I can check how goes the how went that execution. So I see here I was making some copy about from that. I have the output. I have here my JCL, the message log, the just messages, and everything was fine. So I'm using JavaScript here to automate that command. So every time I'm submitting, I'm preparing, I'm doing some changes on my JCL, I'm creating the jobs, and through the Zoe I'm submitting them and checking if the condition code that I've written here, if this matches with zero. If I have something different, I'm gonna get some error. Let me show you that. So for example, if I have some typo here, let me update this, give a copy. I will put a comma here that's not expected to be here, right? And I'm gonna submit the job again. I really love all the options that Zoe brings to us. So we can see here that we have a JCL error. That was what we were expecting, and I have here another folder for that execution. I can also check all the jobs I'm submitting with my user IDs through the VS Code or using the Zoe extension. So let's return for that. So I'm gonna run the test script for you to be able so to see how that happens here locally. So when I'm running the test, I see here the scripts that are expected. He identified my deploy spec.js, and he will run the tests that are expected to happen. Once the job is executed, you're gonna see the results of these tests. And we were expecting to have some JCL error here, right? Because we made that, we caused that. So when we look here, we see that we have a error on the first job from our cases. So compile JCL should run with 0, and we got a JCL error that, and it points for our test case. So with that, we can ensure that every change that we are making on our application, they are very well tested. We can create a lot of cases of tests. We can create performance tests. We can create tests for every situation. And if we can do that, there is another tool that I'm using here to host our application. So now I have everything hosted on the GitHub. Where is my GitHub? Yeah, there you go. So if you want to try this locally, you can just come for my repository and take the CI/CD application. And here you can taste that. So on the GitHub, I have two branches. I have the master, that's my production one, and I have the development branch. So when I'm uploading the changes, it's communicating with Travis. And on Travis, we can see the executions that are expected to happen. So I have prepared to run to create an environment with Node that is the same thing that I have installed on my machine. I'm using here some scripts to install Zowe, and then I have the commands that I'm expecting to happen. So when the change is happening, it is starting the tests and the job is running. I'm gonna change it to have it fixed again, and I'm gonna upload that for us to see the things happening. Let me take a look if we have some questions here already. Okay. So, to talk with Travis, we use a YML file that's passing all this configuration. And before we can run our scripts, we are checking if we want to use Node.js in this case. This is the version I'm using, and I'm using special authority here to run the commands. I'm setting the info that I need to install Zoe, and then I'm just creating a profile that's needed to communicate with our LPAR. When we are creating this profile, I'm using here some commands to have some information about the host I'm using, the port, user, and password. So to don't have that explicit here and cause some breach, security breach, we are setting some environmental variables that are being set on our server to run, so that they are not exposed. And then we have some jobs here, some scripts to run. If we are on the development branch, we are going to run the test jobs, and we are going to create the test job our application. So I don't need to go there anymore, because in this case I have a change prep proved for that, right? And so I don't need to go there and worry about the change, create a change. Everything will happen automatically and will be registered. I will have some history about that, and the deploy will also happen automatically. I already have tested that, right? So there's shouldn't have any issue with that. And once the files are on our LPAR, ESP will trigger our application to run. And that part I will let Thiago to talk about it. He had some issues with the bus that is going to home, and will be joining us soon. Okay, let me fix everything I have broken here. So, okay. I'm just checking how it was my last executions for us to fix that. So I have some issue here with the script. PM run test jobs. It failed. Okay, so that's not what I want. Let me take here what was the issue. So test jobs. So let's try that. Beleza. Oh, sorry for the Portuguese word here in the middle. Okay, so I'm just showing the script for to create my test jobs. They are here, and when I'm using GitHub or Git on my locally, every change it's been tracked. So I have here some changes. I'm gonna upload those changes to the server. So I'm gonna commit that I'm sure about what I'm doing, and I'm going push this for the server on the development branch. Once these changes are going for GitHub, it will start here on Travis the build. So I'm gonna refresh my page, and we should see with some delay how the build is starting. It usually takes some seconds to happen. And there we go. So the build have started, and once it started, it will prepare a virtual machine to run all the tests. So now I have my variables settled. The Node.js environment is being settled, and now we are installing Zowe here. So if you see here, we issued no command, and we got the version of Zoe. Our scripts for development, they have started, right? So we have created here some JCL that are our tests updated, and they have passed. So the tests are registered here. So I'm good to proceed for production because I have tested it already. So it happens really fast when you are working in a team. Everyone doing different changes. Everything is concentrated in just a place. All the changes are being tested, and you are going to deliver that for production. So if I update here on my GitHub, I'm going to see I can go to my development branch, and my changes are here. Right.
Hey Bill, this is Thiago. Just to let you know, I'm gonna be connecting in 5 minutes.
Thanks. So I will create a new pull request to promote those changes. When I'm doing that, I'm live promotion, and I'm going to create the pull request. Okay. So when I'm doing that, we're gonna see all the tests is running here, and I have here Travis CI, and I have seen my let me return that, and I have implemented here some tests. So there are tests with branch, and there is here my continuous integration tests. I can check details about this build. I can see how that went. You can create here different tests and with different tools. So this was our test that just ran. I can check what were the changes that happened on my file. So in this case, just that. So I'm going to promote that for production. So now on production. Oh, so now my changes are here. If we went to Travis, we're gonna see that a new build started on master branch. And on master branch, the code that we should run should be different, right? We're gonna create now our change that should come up here on our service now. That's our change management tool, and we also should have something on ESP. So let me connect it to show ESP once it's ready.
Yes, please do because I still need 2 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's important to mention that the integration that we put to executing on this solution was already executing on the build piece, right?
Yeah.
So and then later I can share with our community the script that how we did that to be.
Yeah. Okay. So let's take a look on Travis. So when we went to the Travis, we can see here that the first scripts that were for test they didn't run again. So now we have a script running for service now, and we have our jobs being submitted, being deployed. So we are uploading all the files from GitHub to our LPAR. So we have here the job one, the job two, our COBOL program, and an input application that Thiago will talk more a bit later. So if we came here to our service now, let's refresh our page. So here there is our change that we have been working today. And the latest one that was just created is this one. So now we have here our changes and our jobs that were just uploaded. Let's take a look on the on the ESP to see the application. So if I go to the ESP, I can go to see my application that were here. I'm gonna filter. And the jobs that were just started now on our live, they are here, and they have completed with success. Guys, guys that are watching us now, do you have any questions about this part of the presentation? Hey Thiago, welcome. Are you able
Yes,
to
I'm getting connected here. Just give me a second.
sure, I'm gonna include you here on the OBS.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I think that you already showed to the people here on ESP screen, right?
Yeah, just a moment, and I'm putting you. I'm sharing your screen.
Okay, actually, let me stop my screen sharing.
Okay. So now, I believe they are able to hear you, guys. I showed to you all the Zoe part of things here. So how I'm using the scripts to run jobs from my machine, how I'm going the Zoe to upload all the jobs from GitHub using Travis and all the things. Now I would like to let Thiago talk about the how he has prepared the service now to receive the calls, the ESP to look for the jobs being updated on on the Alpar, and then putting the application to run. If you have any question, just pop up that on the chat, and we're gonna answer. It can be related to the presentation about Zoe and all the technologies. Just feel free for that.
Yeah, the connection went down. Okay, I got your point here, Bill. Let me share my screen.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope you guys can see my screen now. So let me cover the piece here.
Just a moment. Let this update.
All right.
Okay. Just a moment.
Sure.
Okay. I think you can proceed with that.
All right. So, okay, let me show you here the application that we have developed for this specific case. So, as Bill already mentioned on this call, um, we every day we wanted to move things faster to the production, but we cannot forget about the processing. So almost all the companies that we work, they follow on a specific, I mean, on a specifically change processing. For example, I2, right? So just to keep everything under control, and also be, um, yeah, and also be in a part, in a control part. So we have done this specific application here in order to keep this controlling. So let me show you guys here. Now I'm connected here on the service now, and I have developed this specific application called CI/CD, DevOps CI/CD. So every time that an a build request is started on on build part, that's gonna call on a REST API that will automatically send on a request to here. So let me just get the last one that you just sent just to show you guys how that works. Okay, as you can see here on this form, I don't know if it has some delay to update the screen. Just let me know, Bill.
Yeah. Let me see. They are complaining that maybe we are not seeing their screen right now. Let me just take a feedback and see.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, because I just opened the form here that we have when on a specific request is opened automatically by Travis.
Yeah, I think you can continue.
Okay, good. Okay, so here we have the form. So this was developed specifically for this case. So every time that we have a new code being promoted up to production, that's gonna raise automatically this form. So based on the script that Bill just showed to you guys before, and also in order to keep a continuous deployment in ESP, I have developed an ESP Pro on ESP. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with this scheduling tool, but I love this tool because we have multiple ways to dynamically create a new application, and I'm gonna just show you to you guys here, and also I'm gonna share later on the GitHub this code. So let me open here. I'm gonna use Visual Code as my IDE. So basically, I have this application defined over there. So that will be keep looking for a specific data set to be cataloged. So also we have this specifically data set catalog here on the line 5. I'm gonna just say the line because probably we have some delay on the screens. So then it's gonna check if I can allocate this file. On this file that I'm just showing to you guys will contain the job name that we're gonna execute in production. So based on the test that was done previously. Okay.
I think we lost Thiago again. He should join us again. Just a moment.
So I'll be back.
Yeah.
Okay, let me start my screen again. So on this specific ESP Pro, let me see if it's already updated.
Yeah, you can proceed.
All right. So I'm just checking if I can locate this data set. If not, it's gonna exit from the ESP Pro. If I can allocate this specifically data set, it's gonna read the lines that we have inside and then capture the job names that we have. Let me show this input file to you guys. So basically here I have those two jobs that was just submitted when the build and deploy on production completed. So I have here the job 01 JCL and the job 02 JCL. Okay, so as a part of the script executing on the wheel side, it's gonna trigger those jobs. So let me go back here to the SP proc. There we go. Oops, too many screens. Okay, okay, let's give it a second. Let me. All right. So and then dynamic. Uh, so based on this input, it will dynamically create the jobs on ESP and it will submit it as previously showed. Let me go to the ESP here, just to show you guys that the jobs is over. Those jobs are already there. So uh, as as ESP is an scheduling tool based in an event, let me show you guys how the magic happens. So I'm here on the ESP screen. I'm gonna go on the E.3, which is where I have all the events set it up for this environment. I'm gonna just go on my event that I have developed for this case, which is this one here. As you guys can see here, once I have the input data set catalog in my environment, that's gonna invoke the application that I just showed to you guys. So every time that we receive an update or any close action inside this data set, this event will execute it and will put the jobs to run. So then we can close the loop, we can close the pipeline development. So just to recap you guys, we made the test on the test environment. We promoted up the codes to production. We raised an specific questions just to keep it, to have a change control. And then we just submitted the job on the production environment just to make sure that everything that we showed was successfully done. I don't know if you guys there have any questions. I cannot see your screen though, or if you want to comment something else.
No, I just want to say every time I'm most excited about all the things that Zoe are bringing to us, all the possibilities merging, all the word, all the tools that people are already using, Cloud and Z, and you have everything, and we have everything together with all our strengths, all that Z can provide us, and that's awesome.
Yeah, Zoe is opening the possibilities to automate many different things, right?
And that's
So
easy. That's possible for everyone to just use whatever they are used to.
exactly, and just to let the people knows, we just start to prepare this demo this week, right? So it didn't took more than three
Yeah,
4 days to we completed everything. So as we are using integration between mainframe and external using APIs, our life is much easier now.
yeah. I believe it was harder to handle to deal with YouTube and the tool that we are using to stream that with all those stuff.
Yeah, yeah, and also, Bill, just to comment here to everybody who is interested to know a little bit more about ServiceNow development, I'm gonna just give you later to you post on the YouTube channel the link for the ones that wanted to start in developing for ServiceNow. The materials there is really nice. They have a learning plan that's it's really easy to go to have to follow like a self-paced so everyone can go there and learn it. It's really easy. And here, what we did was just to make integration by using REST API to use those new technologies. And I think that we have a lot of things to do more. For this case, we can, for example, after the job security, update the record that was open on my application just to close this record. I didn't have enough time to complete it, but we can work on it later just to have the whole site completed.
Yeah. And the community about Zoe also is creating a lot of content, folks. So you can go to Medium, look for Zoe blogs, or you can go to the Open Mainframe project page, and you can have a lot of new stuff that's coming every day. And for those that may be interested, I will post on the comments with this video the link from my blog on Medium, where I have just wrote the step by step how I did and explaining a bit some points on our scripts that we are using here.
So, and I'm gonna be glad to share what I have done with the community too.
Yeah, if you have some questions, we because we have some delay between what we are talking here and you are getting online. Just post the questions here on the chat, and we are here to answer that. Also, feel free to contact us on LinkedIn, on any other communication on Slack. We are present on the Open Mainframe Slack workspace, so everything you need, just get to us. And if you need some help to start something, we are more than happy to help you, right?
Yeah, and before we have some questions, if we have, I'm showing here the ServiceNow Studio, which is the place that we code all the application. So as you guys can see, it's really easy to navigate it. Let me just show an example here what I have done. So I have developed a specific REST API call for my application, like the ones that just create the record here, and it was written on JavaScript. So as you guys can see here, it's not too complicated. And if you go to the ServiceNow, the developer um, Service, ServiceNow web page, you can go on the menu and find the documentations. And there are a lot of examples that can be reused by the community. I'm gonna just provide to you later, Bill,
Great.
so you can also
Yeah,
post on.
you can you if you can integrate that with what we want. Just fork the repo in on the Git and made your pull requests. I will bring that together. Or you can also let that on your Git repository and just share that with me, and I will post on the comments.
Yeah, and for the ones that don't have any ServiceNow account, you can use this web page also to provision one ServiceNow instance just to play around. So what is really nice.
Great. So I think we can close here.
All right. So apologize for my delay.
No problem. We have some, but that was fun. I think that was really nice example, and there are many possibilities to do with that. We are just using a simple hello world, but people can use that and can create the test, the case that we can say to the sky and beyond.
Exactly.
Okay.
And all right, Bill. Thank you so much for inviting me. And thank you very much to make this happen too. Uh, I'm a technical guy, and every time that I have problems, I go to YouTube or to others' web pages to get more knowledge. And I think that everyone that belongs to the technical community is really happy to see those kind of initiatives that you have.
Yeah, that's the idea. Let's bring the Z for the words through the YouTube and through the blogs and through everything. Everyone
Yes,
needs to know our part. Thanks all. Bye.
thank you. Bye bye.